Namaste, it's Renee, and welcome to my podcast, Peace, Love, Abundance. Today we are going to talk about abundance. But first, before we go into that, I'd very much appreciate your feedback and your help rating my podcast. It's what helps other people find me so I can share the love in my message. Also, I am an independent. I don't have any sponsors. I don't have anybody helping me out with this or funding this. I'm a woman entrepreneur doing my own business, and I would love your support. If you'd like to know how to support my podcast, on my website, I have several offerings that I've built, some online workshops. They are pre-recorded, and you learn at your own pace, a self-pace. There's a 7 chakras workshop, an Ayurvedic, and the 8 limbs, a yin yoga, and they all are only like $10 to $20, so very affordable for what they are and how much you will learn from them. But if you would like to help support my business and my podcast, please visit my website. My website is reneestahl.online, and you'll see in my menus a link to shop my online offerings. And all those workshops are listed in there. There's even a couple of freebies in there if you want to check them out. But if you'd really like to help support me and a small business, I'm as small as they get. I don't even have an assistant. It's just me. I'd very much love the support. So go check out my website and see everything I have to offer. I also do privates, online privates, where we can discuss weekly some nutrition. We can discuss what you're manifesting, what your goals are, and do a meditation. Set up a 15-minute meditation that's recorded for you. Once it's recorded, you can replay it for the week and try and help manifest good health, good eating habits, whatever your goals are. The meditation is truly catered to you, but we just meet weekly or bi-weekly or monthly if you want to just do monthly, and we see how you're doing health-wise and mentally, physically, whatever it is you need. My consultations are truly set up for you. And as a master herbalist, a nutritionist, a yoga instructor, meditation, whatever it is that you need in your life, we discuss these and we put together a meditation for you, an eating plan, and even some yoga poses for you. So let me know how I can help you. You can schedule that with me directly at reneestahl108@gmail.com. That's my email address. reneestahl108@gmail.com, or on my website I do have an online calendar you can schedule and book through that too. But I love your support. Most of all, though, I do this podcast just because I love to talk and share knowledge and meet people and reach people and share the peace, love, and abundance. So honestly, you don't have to do anything. If you just want to continue to listen, I love that support as well. But you could give me feedback and ratings. That would definitely help me at no cost to you. All right, abundance. Let's move on. So abundance, I'd like to talk a little bit about money as an exchange of energy. Money over time gets a really negative vibration to it. Of course, there's so many reasons sometimes for it to be negative. We get very bitter about it because when we don't have it and we can't afford the things we need, then you start to develop a bitter relationship for it. Like even healthcare, whenever you need good healthcare and you don't have money to pay for it, it can be very stressful and turn somebody very bitter, because if you don't have the money to pay for what you need, it's very stressful. So we start to have this negative relationship with money, and we start to say, oh, I could never afford that, or I can't afford this. And we start to use that word can't a lot. There's a lot of negative ways that we think of money, or we even look at the way money is traded through politics, drug money. So money really does start to look really dirty whenever you're constantly seeing what's going on in the world. And there's even a saying out there that people say money doesn't buy happiness. And that's absolutely true. You can't walk into a store and buy happiness. But you know what? Money does afford you to be able to do the things you need to do, like getting health care, buying healthy groceries and food and clothes on your back. So money, in a sense, can bring on more happiness if life is easier to live. But no, if you are a depressed person and have lots of issues in that manner, then no, you can't walk into the store and buy happiness and instantly have happiness overnight. I believe that that is stuff we have to cultivate from the inside out through being able to have good exercise routine, good food, good habits. You can't just go buy happiness, but money can help you afford better health. Money can help you afford buying a bicycle so you can go out and have a bicycle ride and enjoy yourself. So money helps us afford the ability to do things that might help us be happy. And it makes life a little bit easier when you have money. I myself, I don't need expensive things. I'm not a shoe and a purse girl. And I just want to know that I can go out to dinner and not worry about what I'm going to order on the menu because it might be too expensive for me, so I'm just going to stick with the side dish. I want to get to a point in my life where something like that I can order off a menu without looking at the prices, or I can buy a new paddle board that is going to afford me the ability to go out and be in the sunshine. I don't need a lot of things, but I don't want money to be a stress for me. I want to be able to live stress-free and have money to afford things and even get health care. I've been living with a hip injury that I can't afford to get health care for, and I want to be able to afford that. So I really started to look into my relationship with money and where my relationship with money went south. A lot of it is what we manifest. So you need to be able to kind of do reverse engineering per se, or reverse how you got to where you're at. You need to figure out where your negative relationship with money started. And this negative relationship, it could have been your childhood. Maybe your parents constantly said, oh, we don't have money for this, we don't have money for that. So they never bought you the things that you wanted because, let's face it, as a kid, it seems like we watch commercials and we want everything. And then your parents are constantly saying, nope, we don't have money for that. Nope, we don't have money for that. So it could have started as a child, always being told, no, we don't have enough money. So you started to manifest that. That became what you knew. Sometimes we don't know what we don't know, so you only know what you know. Your relationship could have started as a child based on your parents, how they saw money. That's a huge influence. How your parents' relationship with money is generally going to be your relationship with money as well. It could be even a spouse or a relationship you've been in, that person had a negative relationship with money, and somehow you absorbed that because every time you wanted to go out and do something fun, they would say, well, I don't have the money for that. So they held you back, even though it was something you wanted to do, and maybe you had the money for it, they didn't have the money for it. So you start picking up on this. It's amazing when we're in a relationship how much we pick up on that person's energy and their negativity. So you could have picked up your negative relationship with money through a spouse or any kind of relationship. It didn't even have to be a marriage. And then a lot of it is even self-worth. That you just don't feel like whatever your job is, you just don't feel like you're worthy of a raise. Or if you own your business like I do, I really sometimes struggle with my self-worth because I want the world to be a better place. I want people to feel healthier daily. I want them to get yoga and good food and feel healthy daily. And I get this negative relationship that I'm not worthy of somebody paying me for that guidance and that coaching. So I get really nervous about it. So it's a self-worth issue. And honestly, I wish I was financially stable or wealthy, because then I could just give free advice all day long to anybody and everybody and just make the world a better place. But unfortunately, for me to stay healthy, At this point in my life, I need that exchange of energy, that money, to help keep me healthy, so that when I'm giving people advice, I'm giving them valid advice because I'm educating myself. I can pay for continuing education, and I can keep things going. And then my self-worth is worthy of this. So a lot of it's mental, a lot of it is in my continuing education. But in order to be able to afford to help people, I need to be able to afford my own life as well. So it's a self-worth thing. That's just an example. That's a story that I use. But I know there's other people out there who own their own business or want to start their own business, and you're afraid to, or it's really hard to ask other people for money because a lot of it starts with how you see yourself and how you take care of yourself. And I need to take care of myself because of what I want to do is take care of other people. So you need to figure out where your relationship with money went negative in the first place. And also, I totally figured out whenever I did this little soul searching project or activity or exercise, I really dug deep through some meditation and sitting with myself, with my own thoughts, writing, journaling. I found out. So my parents, granted, we were never rich, but we had our highs and our lows. We had years where we could go on vacation, and we had years where we had to be really careful with money because my dad owned his own business, and my mom was wrapped up into that. She helped him with the business. So we had some good years and some bad years. But honestly, I've never considered myself being a poor person, thank goodness. We had money to afford clothes on our back and food. We never lived glamorously, but we did have some toys. We went skiing and had fun and vacations when we could. So I couldn't actually relate my negative relationship with money to the way I was raised. I was actually raised very well, and we had fun. And money afforded us the fun. Even though a few years we didn't have to buckle down and skip vacation and fun, for the most part, my parents did very well making sure us kids got to see the world and travel and explore. So I started to ask myself, well, if I can't blame it on my childhood or my parents, what else is there? And definitely, relationships are in there a little bit, but I've always been a very independent woman and made good money. I've always known that I have my money. I'm very responsible in that manner, that I have money to pay for me. I've always covered myself. So I can't really 100% blame it on any relationship that I've had, except for whenever my son came around. I was working full-time, even full-time plus, one of those 50-hour-a-week jobs as a graphic designer, and then eventually moved on to a software company where I was a software test engineer for a company that developed software for graphic designers. And I was working, like I said, 50 hours a week, putting my son in childcare. So my son was in childcare, including commuting back and forth from my job. Easily, my son was in childcare from 50 to 55 hours a week. And at one time, I did very well. I had a nice salary at the software company. I lived very well as a single parent. My son and I, we didn't worry about money. I bought him a nice bicycle. He had some decent toys. I didn't overspoil him, I don't think, but I did have money at one time. And then I got laid off from that job around 9/11. Around the time that I got laid off, though, I was really sad. I was really starting to slip into some depression, that while I had money, it made me very sad that I was missing out on my son's life, that he spent more time at daycare than he did with me. So at the time I got laid off, I started to manifest. I don't care what I do job-wise. I just want to spend more time with my son. And so that's 100% what I started to manifest. So that's what I can relate it to, is being laid off from the software industry and making a choice. I chose to not apply for more jobs in that industry because I didn't want to be stuck at that 50 hours a week and missing out on raising my son. First thing I did was real estate. But I found that real estate, actually you work your ass off for real estate, and it's a lot of money you're handling. Being responsible with that much money, it just put more strain and stress on me to do real estate. So I discovered real estate was not for me. I went into becoming an esthetician and learning how to do skincare, and then my master herbalist came into play and the yoga, and I started to really love what I was doing. I was like, wow, health, nutrition, skincare, yoga, herbs, nutrition, everything started to come together, and I was really enjoying what I was doing. So I kept diving deeper into that world. And diving into that world did afford me some time with my son. I spent more time with my son, but we barely paid our bills. I mean, barely. And since I've been in this industry, to be honest with everybody, the majority of the time that I've been in this industry, I have not made over $30,000 a year. But it afforded me time with my son. So I traded one thing for the other. I got really good at living on the minimum. I knew how many groceries I could buy a week and still spend extra time with my son. And I stopped going out to dinner. I just started to manifest that I can live on bare minimum. And don't get me wrong, I am a minimalist. I do love to live minimally. And I'm good at it. I am damn good at it because I'm a minimalist. But I'm getting to a point in my life where I could probably use some kind of hip surgery to help my hip, or retirement as I'm getting closer to 50. I know I'm not going to retire at 50, but as I get closer to 50, I also start to notice that 60, 70, and 80 will be here before I know it, and I don't even have a retirement plan. So I need to really reverse this relationship that I've had with money, thinking that I didn't care what I was doing as long as I enjoyed myself. And I need to start manifesting. I want to enjoy my job, and money loves me, and I love money. Money is an exchange of energy, and I do not need to feel guilty about that exchange of energy or that exchange of money, because I have near 15 years experience now between being an esthetician, a master herbalist, nutrition, and a yoga instructor. So now my new manifestation is yes, I love what I'm doing. I accomplished that. I accomplished that goal. I accomplished the goal that I love what I'm doing. But now I just need to re-add in, and money helps afford me to stay healthy so that I can help other people, because my goal is to help other people. But honestly, I can't help other people until I help myself. Continuing education is a big part of what I do, and I want to be able to afford to sign up for more trainings and continue to learn and build on my knowledge, because I'm a sponge for knowledge. I love it. I want to continue to buy healthy food. I believe in buying organic food, and if I'm going to eat animal protein, I believe in buying high-quality animal protein, that the animals were treated well, and what I'm putting into my body, I know is as clean as I'm going to get. And I want to be able to go out to dinner without having to worry about the price on the menu and choosing the lowest price item on the menu. I want to be able to buy toys, a new paddleboard, a new snowboard. I want to be able to buy a lift ticket to even go snowboarding. I want to be able to afford these things because they make me happy. They bring me peace, love, and abundance. And I need money to be able to cultivate that. And money doesn't have to be dirty. We don't have to have a negative relationship with money. Money affords us the things that make us happy, that keep us healthy, and be able to travel the world and experience more things. So think about that. If you have a negative relationship with money, an exercise for you, this is my homework for you. You need to sit with yourself, your thoughts, journal, write it down, but figure out where it started to manifest your negative relationship with money. And if you are struggling right now, especially money-wise, then you need to start flipping that around. You need to create more positive around money. Because while you may not be able to go down to Target and buy happiness, we need money because you're going to be happier if you can get by daily, if you can get the health care you need, if you can buy the healthy groceries that you need, clothes on your back. Happiness will come easier if you can afford those things. So it all comes together, the whole peace, love, abundance. And there's an abundance of money out there for us. But if your self-worth and your story is pulling you down, if negativity is pulling you down, you need to reverse engineer your thoughts and your life, and you need to pull yourself out of wherever that negativity comes from, and you need to start cultivating the abundance. I love money. Money loves me. And money helps afford me the ability to live in abundance. The abundance of being able to go outside and feeling sunshine on my body because I bought a new paddleboard or a new snowboard. That's the kind of life that I want. And whenever I am healthier, then helping people get healthier is easier even for me, because then I'm not as stressed when I'm helping people. So let's do this. Let's all do this together. Let's start to manifest more money into our lives, making things easier, more affordable, and let's live peace, love, and abundance. And this is where I'll leave you today with this podcast. Please, if you'd like to support my podcast in any way, whether it's just a rating or feedback or working with me one-on-one or my workshops on my website, know they are available to you as I share my exchange of energy for you. I leave you today with peace, love, abundance, and namaste.